And welcome to Overtime, brought to you by KingsCast at www.kingscast.net. I'm Keith Korneluk.
And I'm Chris Kalaszewski.
And here we are, back from Staples Center. Sorry, Canucks fans, I'm going to do it. Woo! Yeah!
That's right, Kings fans and Canucks fans. We're back here after Game 3. Huge game for the Kings. We're here tonight. Going to talk about Game 2 just a little bit, talk about Game 3, and we're going to also talk about the infamous tweet sent out by the LA Kings.
There we go, episode 153. Let's get into it real deep and nice.
All right, hockey fans, we're back here after a pretty incredible Game 3 tonight. But let's touch on Game 2 a little bit. I just want to go ahead and apologize. We weren't able to shoot a Game 2. I want to apologize because I was on the beach shooting Marissa Miller. I'm sorry. What are you going to do?
Well, you know what, Chris? She has the perfect body. You are forgiven.
Okay. But Game 2, guys, we'll talk about this briefly. A pressure again I still felt was on Vancouver, trying to even the series.
Yep.
And the Kings, another surprise team, just playing with really nothing to lose. And you look at the game, again, Kings not really playing their best hockey, but got it done again. Dustin Brown for president.
What an amazing game, and it's one of those that we really wish we could have covered. And, to me, Chris, when you're on the road in the playoffs, you got to win one game, right? And the Kings did that in Game 1, so I was a happy guy, expecting Vancouver to come back with a vengeance. They did not, and, 2 shorties by Dustin Brown. And, John, you got to give all credit where credit is due to Jonathan Quick, but Dustin Brown also at the top of the heap when it comes to MVPs of the Kings' short playoff series thus far. So, great win there in Vancouver to take it 2-0 coming into Los Angeles. And backtrack for a quick second here, Chris. After Game 1, we didn't check our Twitter, but the LA Kings sent out a hilarious and now quite infamous tweet. It was something to the effect of, to any hockey fans outside of Vancouver, BC, you're welcome. I thought it was a whole load of awesome.
Yeah, this is what you want to see from a franchise. We're having fun. We're using social media to, sort of poke fun at other teams and everything. I mean, I don't see any controversy in it. I thought it was respectable for the most part. I thought it was hilarious.
Well, you know what? Maybe it was a little bit controversial. Maybe a little bit. But, for the most part, tweets coming out of most sports franchises are boring. They're dull. Here's the latest interview that Rich Hammond did with yada, yada, yada. Who gives a crap, I thought great on the Los Angeles Kings. I think they got 7,000 additional followers because of that. You know what? Nothing to apologize about, Kings. You guys are awesome.
You know what, Kings fans, coming into Game 3, everything changes here.
Yeah.
The Kings are up super surprisingly, over the Vancouver Canucks, top seed. I felt the pressure definitely shifted over to the Kings tonight. Like Jarrett Stoll said today in an interview, he said, being up 2-1 is a lot different than being up 3-0. So the pressure tonight, all over the Kings to make a huge difference in the series. And also the Kings have lost 5 in a row at home. In the playoffs. That last one, of course, being against Vancouver in Game 3, which seems like a long time ago.
Yeah, and Chris, Daryl Sutter, I think, said it best in his press conference after Game 2. There's a lot that the LA Kings had to work on. I don't think either team should really be all that proud of how they were playing as a hockey team. Obviously, the Kings are happy that they won, both games, and, as were we. But, dogging it in the face-offs, great on the PK, but everything else was just kind of blah. And, I know today, I was out and about, and I saw the Lakers game was on. I'm not a basketball fan, but I did know that the Lakers were playing at Staples Center. I was like, oh, my God, this is going to be terrible. And, sure enough, tonight, for me, the story, I couldn't stop saying this, after the first period, was the ice at Staples Center was absolutely horrific tonight.
Yeah, and never do we bring that up. We don't have to make excuses here, and obviously everyone is playing on the same ice, but it didn't look good out there. I mean, the Lakers game, like you said, it went into overtime and almost went into double overtime, and I'm sorry, but that makes a factor.
Huge.
In the game, and you can see it tonight. There was probably 24 players falling on the ice. The puck wasn't moving as quick. It just wasn't the same. Vancouver, I'll give you credit right there. You got some fantastic ice out there.
Yeah, you definitely do. And I think you said it, Chris, after the second period, was that I'd love to see a stat on how many people actually fell down. If anybody out there wants to give us that stat, please. Email us or, leave it downstairs. What's up, Kings fans? Keith here, and it is Game 3. Kings up in the series 2-0. The sky has fallen. Our predictions, they be wrong. Kings are winning this 4-3 Kings. But yeah, I mean, that was definitely a factor. A lot of people were connecting with their passes on both sides. I think maybe there was a little bit of an advantage for the Los Angeles Kings because they're not as fast as the Vancouver Canucks. And, definitely the Vancouver Canucks were feeling that as well. But, I kind of feel like, Chris, that the Vancouver Canucks went into panic mode. And I thought Roberto Luongo had a perfectly respectable Game 1 and Game 2 against the Kings. We did a little bit better. We won the games. Yeah. Putting in Corey Schneider, who's had a terrific season, very much so, will probably get traded because he's not on a 13-year contract and, give the Canucks a very nice return, was in net and also played a very good game tonight. But you're kind of seeing that Vancouver just doesn't know what to do with the Kings. You have Daniel Sedin out. That's a factor. But Ryan Kessler not playing his best hockey. Alex Burrows definitely mixing it up, but not the same team that we saw a couple of years ago. Certainly not the same team that we saw last year. They went all the way to Game 7 in the Stanley Cup Finals. Yeah,
you do the best you can with your roster. I mean, obviously the Kings would have liked to have Anze Kopitar last year against the Sharks, and obviously this year we would love to have a healthy and productive Simone Gagne. A lot of people forget about him, but he's still on the team.
Yeah.
And also, I'm sure they'd love to have a healthy and non-worthless Scott Parse. So it balances out. But these are two great teams playing each other, and the Kings, in that first period, were playing like on their heels a little bit. They didn't score they didn't take their first shot. I think it was probably about 10-minute mark into the first
I think their
period.
First power play, if I'm not mistaken. But that was definitely looking very concerning. And the final score ends up being 1-0. The Kings win. We're up 3-0 in the series. Who gets that goal but Dustin Brown? I mean, you want to talk about a guy that's really stepped it up. And maybe that whole he might be traded thing got to him. But this is a guy right now playing some of his best hockey that I've ever seen him play. And you want to know why he's the captain. It's about his leadership on the ice, doing what needs to get done, throwing out those big hits. He absolutely leveled Heinrich Sedin tonight. Yeah. And, what a hell of a game, Chris. For 1-0 games, this was definitely one that I enjoyed seeing.
Yeah, it was a tense game out there. It was very chippy. Anze Kopitar dropped the gloves. You gotta love to see that. Of course, he was holding on for dear life, but he did it. Even though it takes him off the ice, you want to see that from your leaders. He's an assistant captain, and I'd love to see that. The crowd was going crazy after that. Let's talk about special teams tonight. It's been the sort of an issue the whole series, and the Vancouver Canucks again. We're 0 for 4 tonight on the power play. Yep. And, a lot of chances. They're 0 for 14 right now. And I knew our penalty kill was good. Had a fantastic season this year. But they were 14 for 14 in this series. And that's just been a series changer. It's showing how good the goaltending is. Jonathan Quick, how good the defense is. Everyone contributing, even Voynov. Does anyone miss Jack Johnson? I'm not hearing anyone say they miss Jack Johnson. I'll take Jeff Carter any day of the week. No coincidence that as soon as they got him, this team has played so much better. You take a look at the last 5 games of the season that he missed and the ones that he came back at the beginning of the series, no doubt this guy makes a huge difference on the Kings. So, Jeff Carter, I'm glad we have you for the next decade because he's making a huge difference. Even though he's not contributing on the score sheet, it doesn't matter because everyone else is. And Dustin Brown is just nailing everyone out there. He's scoring clutch goals. And this is such a different Kings team than we saw 2 years ago. This is a Kings team that is ready to take the next step. And I don't even think they can blow this one. I think they will.
No, and you want to talk about people that haven't appeared on the score sheet, at least when it comes to goals. Justin Williams, no goals in the playoffs so far. Anze Kopitar, no goals. Jeff Carter, no goals. Had a sweet assist to Dustin Penner. Not saying that they're playing poorly because they're not, but here's the thing. If these guys start lighting it up, you're looking at a very dangerous Kings team. And, if we eliminate the Vancouver Canucks, and at this point I'm saying that we are going to, LA Kings are looking like one of the most dangerous teams other than Nashville in the Western Conference in this playoff. So as a Kings fan, pretty damn happy.
All right, Kings fans, the game is over. Game 3, the Kings have won 1-0 shutout for Jonathan Quick. Dustin Brown with the goal. Things are looking pretty good right now. Even the Kings can't mess with us. Like our chances. Go Kings.
All right, Kings fans, so we are going to be back with you on Wednesday. Wednesday's being Game 4, and I feel like both teams have not played their best hockey yet. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens with the Los Angeles Kings. We have the opportunity to sweep, and you know what? I think Daryl Evans and Nick Dixon said on the radio tonight, we have never been up 3-0 in a series.
Which is shocking. I don't even know what to say about that. But just speaking of that, what areas of improvement do you see the Kings need to make for Game 4? Do they sweep? Do they close it out? Or is it going to go back to Vancouver? Leave your questions and comments or whatever downstairs.
All right, Kings fans, we'll be right back at you on Wednesday. Hopefully the last game of this playoff series. Cross your fingers. I would like to point out that as of right now, my initial prediction of Canucks in 5 is now wrong. Can't happen. Not going to happen. Chris had Canucks in 6, so if the Canucks come back and win 4 straight,
it still wouldn't be right.
It still wouldn't be right. Oh, my God. KingsCast was wrong. We're happy to be wrong. So, go Kings. I'm Keith Cornelick.
And I'm Chris Kalsiewski.
Thanks for watching Overtime by KingsCast.